Morning, everybody. Welcome to a brand new trading week. It's the 6th of September. We are Signal Centre Talking Bull. I'm Joe Neighbour, joined by Steve O'Hare. Morning, Steve.
Good morning, mate.
How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. Not bad.
Good, good.
I've got a short week this week, haven't I?
Oh, yeah, you're off on holiday from Wednesday. Is that right?
Hmm.
Lovely, lovely,
Yeah.
lovely. Okay, so let's get stuck in. So it's a pretty strong start from equity markets. Number of reasons appear to be behind that. I mean, certainly the Uh, weaker jobs number isn't one of them that came out on Friday, but it seems to be having a good effect on the market. And I can only imagine that's due to the fact that it means there'll be easier monetary or looser monetary policy in place for an extended period of time and no threat of interest rate rises anytime soon. So uh, that's looking pretty good. In terms of what's going on elsewhere, aluminium prices climbed to their highest in more than a decade as political unrest in Guinea fueled concerns over the supply of raw materials needed to make the metal. So a bit of political instability going on there, which is obviously having an impact on the aluminium prices today. We've got Goldman Sachs on a hiring spree because there's been a surge of deals in the Middle East region. We've got the UK considering requirements for a vaccine passport to be shown in order to access large venues. That could be in place as early as this month. So again, mounting pressure for people to get the vaccine if they haven't already got it. That's pretty much it on the headline front. It is expected to be a quieter day today because the US markets are closed for US Labor Day. So let's get stuck into some charts, Steve. Where would you like to kick off today?
I'll start with indices. Just taking a look at really on the weekly charts. I don't think it looks. I mean, we're sort of like we're pushing higher, obviously, but it doesn't look great from a technical perspective. We've got this like ending wedge type formations that we're seeing on the longer term charts. But you can't really stand in the way of this. Every time there is a dip in the indices, we seem to find buyers. Daily chart here has found good support for the FTSE over the last 4 or 5 days, around about 71.22. The highest we've got is 71.90. Really looking to challenge potentially the 72.35 after we've had a good start today. Nice momentum on the market moving higher. Similar sort of thing for DAX. 16,031.5 is the all-time high, and we're only within a stone's throw of that, to be honest. So really positive, posting a bullish engulfing on the daily already. So nothing really looking set to slow this down. As you said, Joe, with the non-farm figures from Friday, you'd think we'd have a little bit of a pullback, but potentially the rates are going to stay low, and we are going to potentially get more support for the
Bad
economy.
news is good news.
Yeah, it seems to be. And it sort of like goes back to what we've always said. Even bad news comes out doesn't mean the markets go down, or good news comes out doesn't mean the markets go up. There's sentiment involved in that as well. Nasdaq just has posted an all-time high, 15,708.
Looking at the futures, right?
Yeah.
Futures
Yes, yeah. That's what we're sort of looking at, the CFD type things. We're overbought on the S&P while that's trading around the all-time highs as well. Where do we get up to? 40, just over 45.51, and we're trading just below that right now. So looking positive on the US markets. I'm sure when they come in tomorrow, they'll feel like they've missed out and start to push it higher again. Maybe it's an opportunity for a little bit of pullback, but I won't be betting on it. Aussie 200 has perked up a little bit after the sell-off we saw a couple of weeks ago. It's stabilized, and we're now getting a nice sort of like reaction from this 74, just in front of 7400 support level now. So we'll have support around about here. If not, probably a better support is probably around about 74.45, where we've had a few lows there. China 50s also reacted higher, and we've got this morning doji star formation formed from the 30th, 31st, and the 1st of September, and we've broken up through the barrier of resistance 15282 and steadily grinding higher, a little bit overbought, but again feels quite positive. Hang Seng also really a level to watch, which isn't too far away, 26,800. That will confirm a double bottom formation, as you can see from swing low here and here. And the Nikkei seems to sort of be fueled to go higher and try and lead these Asian indices higher. It's broken above the resistance at 29,500 and sitting just below the 30,000 level. Do we actually get above it? No, still just in front of it. So yeah, that's looking really positive on the indices side. Let's take a look at Kryptos. So Bitcoin has broken the resistance that we were toying with of late, 50,600, and we pushed above it. And this is the price action from yesterday, pushed above it, closed nicely higher, and looks set to kick on to the 57,500 to 60,000 resistance levels. Cardano stalled. This is the one that's already trading at all-time highs very recently. Managed to get up to $3.10, trading just below that, but still looking pretty tasty. Ripple trying to sort of like push higher, along with Ethereum's doing a good job as well. So Bitcoin really are the laggards here, along with Ripple. And but yeah, so if we look at and take maybe a Fibonacci retracement levels, we're above the 61.8% fib now. 78.6 comes in at 57,000 on Bitcoin. That looks like the next stop. So buying dips is probably the way to go until it breaks below maybe 46,000. So let's dive into commodities. Interesting moves in gold. We'll go to oil first. Oil stalled at this downward trending resistance level, formed a bit of a shooting star candle, and we've had a negative follow through today. Remember, on my monthly chart on oil, that's highlighting a potential for a deeper reversal. So still, the jury's still out on that. Short term seems to be supported. But if we drill down to even the 4-hour chart, we're looking at these quite little toppy formations that we're getting, little double top here, which played out really nicely. And overall, it seems to be struggling, challenging this $70 level on the WTI crude. Brent crude is above it. It trades at a premium, and it's at the premium now is about $3.30. Natural gas continues to push higher. So there's no slowing this bad boy down. On a longer term chart, we've broken above that resistance. We're really looking to challenge the 495 area very soon, which was the swing high back in November 2018. So not just under 3 years from that high we saw. Gold. I nearly forgot gold. Why did I nearly forget gold? How could I forget it? Sorry. So we've had this obviously reaction from the 1676 monthly chart. We don't want to be looking at a monthly chart on that. We look at the weekly chart on gold. We can see the bullish hammer formation, and since then we've had 4 positive weeks, starting the next one. For me, 1834 looks a little bit prone now to a challenge. We didn't get far away from it on Friday. We got up to 1834 exactly, so we weren't far away from it at all. I sort of feel like we've got a little bit more on the upside here. Have a quick look at where dollar is. dollar index, 92.26. So a little bit under pressure on the dollar index. That will lead to a potential for a grind higher in gold. Gold seems to have held on pretty well during this dollar rally. So I think once we see a bit of dollar weakness, that'll lend itself to potentially pushing higher. We've got a downward trend in resistance coming in gold above this 1834 barrier that we've got at the moment, coming in at 1853, and then really nothing stopping another challenge on the 1916 level. Above that, we've got 1962 before the all-time high, all around about 2075. So yeah, gold looking pretty positive. Short-term support levels, it's got, I mean, we talked about this triangle formation on Friday, and I was looking for a break lower. So my gun to head wasn't great. It has broken higher, so it has continued within its trend. So that's another positive for gold. So we're sitting here just below the 1833, 1834 resistance. Maybe my gun to head forming a little bit of a maybe bullish flag type formation. I might look at the news sentiment in gold, see what that's showing. So I'll let Joe take the reins on FX first.
Lovely, thanks, Steve. Okay, so dollar index, we saw it move lower initially off the back of Friday's non-farm number, which came in underwhelmingly lower than expected. So we saw a fresh push to the downside, but we did see some buying sort of step back in. Often is the case with this big number, the first move can be the wrong move. So we saw this dip lower and then we saw it recover back. Certainly wasn't off of so it didn't close higher on the day, but it was off of its worst levels, and it sort of got fairly close to this big support zone that we've got between 91.63 to 91.78. So still believe there could be a test in and around that level at some point. But alternatively, if we do see a break of this kind of short-term wedge or downtrend that's forming, then maybe that would put an end to the downward correction on dollar index. So keep an eye on that. Expecting prices today probably to remain contained within this downtrend channel because obviously the US holiday today. So keeping an eye on that for now. Not giving up the sort of overall bullish view on the dollar just yet. I mean, I still believe a bottom is forming here, but we need to see it get above these kind of levels up here to really confirm that. So for now, just a case of watching and waiting, and again, not expecting much today due to that US holiday. Looking at Euro USD, really interesting day again on Friday on the back of this non-farm number, rallied into this previous resistance level at 119.08 and pretty much hit it to the tick. 119.09 was a high of the day. On the 30th of July, we pretty much saw the same 119.08 spot 7. So also got a 38.2% fib level. So that clearly has done a pretty good job at containing the upside. And we formed a shooting star candle. And today we're backing that up with further losses. So again, maybe a bit of a sort of corrective channel for me here, flip side of what we just talked about on the dollar index. If it breaks down below that, then we may see a continuation lower and a final completion of this head and shoulders top pattern, which now for me needs to break 116.64. I mean, from a technical perspective, you would have said it broke there on the 19th of August on the break of 117.04, but things came rallying back very sharply and took out anybody that was looking to sell on the break of that head and shoulders. So going to take a little bit longer to form by the looks of things, but still in favour of that being the outcome over the short to medium term. Looking elsewhere, it's been a pretty strong move higher for some of these riskier assets, Aussie in particular. And New Zealand dollar versus a basket of currencies. As you can see, it's been a really sharp move to the upside here. But again, appears to maybe have failed into some bands of resistance here. The upper end of this band of resistance was the 38.2% fib level from the highs here on the 25th of February down to the lows posted on the 20th of August. A bit of stalling. I wouldn't say it's sort of completely over yet, but maybe we'll see a little bit of a pullback on that because it has been a very sharp move to the upside and not particularly supportive on the volume side of things. So a little bit difficult to get too carried away at this moment in time. Looking at some of the other currencies, particularly the New Zealand dollar, We were looking at this last week, and it was my gun to the head trade because, as Steve and I often say, particularly Steve, you don't often see more than 9 candles in the consecutive direction. But here we're on to the 11th, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 up days in a row. If it closes in the green today, Steve, what do you make of that?
It's impossible, mate. I think it must be a bug in your system.
Quite possibly. But this is against the Swiss franc, and it's absolutely showing no signs of stopping. I mean, you look at the
Actually,
move
if we go,
down.
yeah, I was going to say, if we go back to the fourth update, I'll have to like there might be Stuart's
Bit of
inquiry on
stewards on that
that.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's odd. I mean, we're
yeah.
seeing the big move higher here again. I don't
See the
really
fourth
know
day,
what's driving it.
New Zealand dollar yen on the fourth day there of that
Yeah, and it
rally
had it
had a
there,
little bit.
and it had it here
So
on the New Zealand dollar, US dollar,
yeah,
and it's showing a bit of weakness today into this kind of band of resistance that I drew on last week when price was nowhere near this. So it has done an okayish job of stalling price action by the looks of things. We've got a cluster of fib levels and also a downtrend resistance line. So we'll wait and see if anything occurs there. But yeah,
no,
quite interesting, I suppose.
I'll definitely be sitting waiting for some sort of technical correction before getting involved. I know we talk about like 9 days being the maximum, but there's no it's not just a reason to sell it because it keeps going up and keeps going higher. There's no reason really for it to stop going up. So yeah, I'd be sitting there waiting for maybe some sort of short-term technical top.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that would
you know,
be
drill
obviously the
down.
safest way.
Yeah. Otherwise, if you're long, you would see no reason why to take profit here. Maybe take partial on that sort of like technical resistance there, but
Yeah.
apart from that, no other reason. Just sit with it.
So you're trying to put me off doing that as a gun to the head trade because that's what I
Yeah,
was
trying to mess
fancy.
with your head, mate.
Yeah, you really have there. Okay, so one more. Let's just have a look at cable because obviously it's widely traded. That has quite interestingly broken out of this downtrend resistance line, but I wouldn't be overly confident given the strength of the breakout candle, as you can see there. We did push higher on the back of the non-farms initially, but then we did dip lower, not closing lower on the day, but forming this kind of shooting star candle. And we're backing it up today. Although we have gapped higher, we are showing some small weakness and reversed the opening gains. So not really sure what to make of that. Again, I still think it's probably one of the hardest markets to trade. I know it's very popular, but I can't imagine people having any sort of sustained success trading this at the minute because it is just so choppy.
Mm,
So I don't really know what to say with regards to that. I think just be careful. um, I wouldn't be backing that breakout because the volumes aren't particularly supportive. Obviously, we've got the US holiday today, and the sort of candle formations aren't particularly supportive of that either. So let's wait and see on that, I think.
yeah.
That's it from me. So, Steve, is there anything you wanted to add on the sentiment side of things that you're looking at? I can
Yeah,
see you've got your screen up there
yeah.
before we go
Just a
into the
little.
gun to the head trades.
Yeah, just a little bit interesting. Really looking for. We talked about. Looking at the sentiment, and we've seen a little bit of an uptick in news sentiment on gold. That's triggered a buy on the market alert, saying that in 80% daily news sentiment is moving higher, and in 80% of the last 10 occurrences, price has risen within 8 days. That was published at 1827. As a price, not as a time. So yeah, that might be the little bit of confidence I need to buy gold in my gun to head challenge.
All right, well, let's have a quick roundup of what happened on Friday. It will be very quick because we were stopped out on 2 trades. I went short of New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc. As we mentioned, for those reasons, it had 9 consecutive up days in a row and kind of speculated on it not going any higher, but it did. And Steve, you went short of gold, which was obviously always going to be a difficult shout ahead of non-farm payrolls, and unfortunately stopped out. Although you did say, from memory, that you would be selling it just in front of that major resistance level. And I think had you done that, that would have worked out quite nicely.
Yeah, I did want to sell it higher. 1833,
Can
34
you show the
is
chart quickly?
resistance. Yeah, let's have a
It was
little
on a
butchers
daily,
on
wasn't
that.
it?
Um, yeah, so here we go.
Yeah, you were saying you would have limits just in front of that, didn't you?
Yeah, just in front of there. And yeah, it wasn't too bad, and have my stop very tight, just above it. So having the stop, where's the high here?
Could have made a few ticks
1834.
on that, couldn't you?
Yeah, it sort of like played out quite nicely to start with. Had a bit of a we could just look at sort of the volatility of it. Yeah, it was sort of like, what did it get back down to? 18.
Should have
Sure. Oh,
tight
it
stop though,
spiked up
because there's
here.
been
Yeah,
some
this was
reasonable
this was
up.
the candle, wasn't it? And I think it got down to about 1817, 1818 on once it hit that spike. Break it down to 15-minute, and it'll give us a better candle, sort of like closed at 1819 after the spike up. So yeah, you would have made look, a good 20. 20. I'm sort of exaggerating there, about 15 points if you managed to sell it on that spike and it came all the way back down. But yeah, now it really is, I think, ready to challenge on the on this level today, or maybe even it may wait till tomorrow. I saw on the IG chart that had a spike. Let me just bring this one down on gold. You saw this spike on the open last night, 1843 it got up to.
Wow, you'd have been pissed off if you had
So
your stop up there.
yeah, it's not great to see that, is it? It's one of those things though. It's other platforms probably came in with the same sort of spike. You know, they just don't sort of like, I think, oh, we'll spike you out. But that's not the case, because there was, so the charts that we're looking at on TradingView don't show a break. If you're sort of like being sort of like anal, you sort of could look at this and say, we've had the break and it's flushed a lot of stops out, and have we got potential to confirm a break lower now? So it'd be good to see what the other sort of like brokers did at the same time, but nothing shown on TradingView.
Okay. Right, Steve, gun to the head today. What do you fancy?
I'm going to go with gold. I'm going to look for this follow through. What have I got up here? A 30-minute chart, and it's supported by the Ichimoku cloud. So let's get along here, forming a bit of a shooting star candle as well. We've got another 18 minutes to play out before that's confirmed. But yeah, I'm looking to sort of like get up to, in my eyes, 1845 would be the first challenge. Let's say 1846.45. That will give us, and have the stop nice and tight, 1821.45. So that below the cloud, I'll have the stop. So that gives us a nice 4-to-1 risk reward on gold, going long of gold, because I've got a gun to my head. But even if I didn't have a gun to the head, I don't think this is a bad level to just sort of load up for a break when the market is fully open. I think we'll see more stops above 1834.
Cool. Good luck. I'm going to take a look at New Zealand dollar, US dollar, despite Steve's best efforts to stop me. This is the daily chart, so it's trading in this sort of corrective channel. It's had a really sharp move to the upside into this kind of cluster of resistance levels that I've got drawn on the chart. It's posting a bit of red today, but obviously there's a long way to go, and also, unfortunately, it's a holiday in the US, so how much dollar movement today there'll be, I don't know, but it's into a nice technical level, which I like. So I'm going to speculate on a bit of a correction lower. So this is the hourly chart, obviously highlighting the fact this has been a really big move to the upside. Got a bit of a short-term trend line drawn on here, which obviously I'm hoping for it to break for me to be successful on this trade. So somewhere around 71.35 to really get it going. It could just be a pullback to trend support before a renewed push to the upside, but I'm going to speculate on this because I've got a gun to my head, and I'm going to sell it at 71.43, stop loss above the highs at 71.75. I'm going to target, let's have a look, let's come up with a sensible level. So this is the most recent swing move, and let's have a look for a 38.2% level. Oh yeah, down at
Nice.
70.31. So assuming this is the high, then this 38.2 level will be at 70.31, which is around about 3.5R if it
Nice one.
works out today. Let's see. Okay, so as mentioned, the US guys are on holiday today. It's UK construction PMI due out in the UK in 15 minutes. The index is expected to fall to 55.6 from 58.7. So that's the only major high impact data point today, which will be impacting the UK. Anything else from you, Steve?
No, all good for me. Good luck with trading this week, and we'll keep you updated on this morning's show. Me tomorrow, and then Joe for the rest of the week.
Yeah, cool. Right. Have a good day, everybody.
Cheers.